Welcome to our International Student Brief program. Today, we dive into the viral phenomenon of Bama Rush, where University of Alabama sorority recruitment has turned into a TikTok sensation, making students into budding influencers. Next, we explore the geopolitical shakeup as Ukraine's incursion into Russian territory forces Moscow to divert troops, creating a significant impact on the ongoing conflict. Lastly, we look at the potential rise in university tuition fees in the UK, as government ministers remain non-committal on the issue, leaving students and universities in a state of uncertainty. Please stay tuned for the detailed coverage. Yahoo US, Bama Rush has once again captured the attention of TikTok users, as young college students at the University of Alabama share their experiences of sorority rush. This annual tradition, which surged in popularity post-COVID-19, offers a glimpse into the intricate process of joining Greek life, showcasing the distinctive fashion and hopeful aspirations of these students. The rush process involves several rounds, from casual introductions to formal preference nights, culminating in the highly anticipated bid day. The phenomenon's viral nature is fueled by TikTok's algorithm, which brings these outfit of the day and get ready with me videos to a global audience, often leading to newfound online fame for participants. However, Bama Rush is not without controversy, facing criticism for its high costs, lack of diversity, and perceived elitism. Despite these issues, the fascination with Bama Rush continues to grow, with some participants leveraging their newfound popularity into brand deals and online careers. Telegraph, Kyiv's recent incursion into Russia, now in its 12th day, marks a significant shift in the conflict, with the West finally loosening restrictions on the use of its weapons. This bold move has allowed Ukraine to reclaim 1,000 square kilometers, forcing Moscow to withdraw troops from key front lines. The operation's impact is multifaceted, straining Russia's military resources and altering the political landscape. Western support has intensified, with discussions on new weapons deliveries and permissions. Inside Russia, the operation has sparked concerns about civil unrest and the morale of conscripted soldiers. The Kremlin's narrative of a special military operation is being challenged, with President Zelensky now holding the strategic advantage, buoyed by Western allies. This development underscores the West's shift from a defensive to a more proactive stance, reshaping the dynamics of the conflict and putting pressure on Putin's regime. Telegraph, the UK government is considering raising university tuition fees, a move driven by financial pressures on universities and years of inflation eroding the value of current fees. With tuition fees stagnant at £9,250 since 2012, universities argue that an increase is necessary to prevent further decline. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson and Universities Minister Jackie Smith have acknowledged the financial struggles of universities but have yet to commit to a specific course of action. The Russell Group has highlighted that institutions are losing an average of £2,500 per domestic student due to the fee cap. Additionally, a decline in international student applications has exacerbated funding issues. Amid fears of potential university bankruptcies, there are calls for inflation-linked maintenance loans and increased long-term funding. The current situation has prompted a broader debate about the sustainability of the higher education funding model, with stakeholders urging the government to address the crisis to ensure the future viability of UK universities. The Independent reports that Labour's Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson, has confirmed that the government will not lift the visa restrictions imposed on international students by the previous Conservative administration. These restrictions, which began in January, prevent most overseas students from bringing family members to the UK. Phillipson acknowledged the significant contributions international students make to the economy and local communities, particularly in areas like Sunderland. Despite this, universities have seen a sharp decline in international student applications, raising concerns about the UK's reputation as a premier education destination. A recent government review of the graduate visa route, allowing international students to work in the UK post-study, has further fueled worries about potential additional restrictions. University groups have cautioned that these policies could undermine the higher education sector, one of the country's most successful export industries. The Home Office reported an 80% reduction in dependents accompanying international students and a significant drop in student visa applications between January and March 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. Yahoo US highlights the increasing prevalence of eating disorders among college students, triggered by the stress of new academic schedules, dating relationships, and social activities. Dr. Jackie Shields, a clinical psychologist at Kaiser Permanente East Bay, discussed the warning signs and available support for those suffering from these disorders. The transition to college life can lead to heightened anxiety and depression, which are significant risk factors for eating disorders. Recognizing the symptoms early and providing timely intervention is crucial for affected students. The discussion underscores the importance of mental health resources on college campuses to address these growing concerns and support students in managing their well-being during their academic journey. The Telegraph reveals the best student bank accounts for 2024, offering various perks such as interest-free overdrafts, cashback, rail cards, and annual taste cards. Nationwide's Flex Student Account, for instance, offers £100 cashback and £120 of Just Eat vouchers, while Santander provides the chance to win up to 3 years' worth of tuition fees. Lloyds Bank offers £110 cash and additional discounts on student union events. NatWest and RBS provide £100 cash and a taste card, among other benefits. The article explains how student bank accounts work, emphasizing the importance of managing finances and the potential to save money through these perks. It also highlights the best accounts for overdraft limits, overseas use, and student credit cards, providing a comprehensive guide for students preparing for university life. Yahoo US. As summer break draws to a close, college students across the nation are gearing up for the fall semester, and those in Greater Cincinnati are no exception. The University of Cincinnati and several other local institutions, such as Miami University and Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, will commence their semesters on August 26. Meanwhile, schools like Thomas More University and Mount St. Joseph University start earlier, on August 12 and August 19, respectively. This period marks a bustling return to campus life, with students settling into dorms and preparing for a new academic year. Telegraph. With the rising costs of university education, parents are increasingly seeking ways to support their children financially without bearing the entire burden. Tuition fees alone can reach up to £9,250 annually, not to mention the steep expenses for rent, groceries, and other essentials. The NatWest 2023 Student Living Index highlights cities like London and Edinburgh as the priciest for student living, while Bournemouth and Cardiff offer better value. Financial planners suggest various strategies, such as purchasing property in the university town or encouraging part-time work, to mitigate costs. However, balancing financial support with teaching financial independence remains crucial for parents. Guardian. The UK is witnessing a significant drop in international student numbers, causing financial strain on universities that rely on higher tuition fees from these students. The political climate, marked by negative rhetoric from figures like Nigel Farage and policy changes such as bans on bringing family members, has contributed to this decline. International students, who enrich the academic and cultural environment, feel increasingly unwelcome. Despite facing discrimination and rising costs, many remain committed to their studies. The call is for a shift in the narrative to recognize the human and cultural value international students bring, beyond their financial contributions. Telegraph. At 23, I find myself unemployed and relying heavily on my savings, which I accumulated during an internship last year. I grew up in a comfortable middle-class home, with parents who worked tirelessly to provide for my sister and me. After graduating from university, I took on various volunteer roles and registered with tutoring websites to keep myself occupied while applying for jobs. My daily routine includes activities like gym workouts, job applications, and occasional meetups with friends. Despite my efforts to be frugal, my love for good food and books often leads me to splurge. Over the past week, my expenditures included groceries, train tickets, and a few indulgences like books and ice cream, totaling £127.90. The Sydney Morning Herald. The University of Sydney is bracing for financial shortfalls due to proposed caps on international student enrollments, which are set to take effect in January. Vice-Chancellor Mark Scott has warned staff about potential hiring freezes and other cutbacks to cope with the anticipated revenue loss. The university relies heavily on international students, who make up about 47% of the student body. The proposed legislation has created uncertainty, making it difficult for institutions to plan for the upcoming year. Scott emphasized the need for a calm and strategic approach, while also acknowledging that the workload for some staff has become overwhelming. National Tertiary Education Union Sydney University Branch President Nick Reamer criticized the university's reliance on international student fees and called for better government funding. Financial Times. Sir Philip Agha, author of the 2018 Agha Review, has urged Britain's university sector to accept the need for job cuts and restructuring to justify demands for increased government funding. With higher inflation, frozen tuition fees, and fewer international student applications, many universities are facing significant financial stress. AGA estimates that around half of Britain's 140 universities are in deficit, with some at risk of needing bailouts. He criticized the sector for expanding too aggressively following the 2012 decision to triple tuition fees. While Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson has ruled out bailouts, AGA believes the government will need to step in, possibly through mergers or turnaround teams. He also suggested that increasing the government teaching grant or tuition fees might be necessary to preserve the quality of UK higher education. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Morning coffee, fresh off the press. Reading headlines, feeling blessed. World keeps turning, stories unfold. Every moment, news gets told. Flipping channels, clicking tabs. Feeding my mind's hunger grabs. Facts and figures, images bright. News keeps rolling day and night. Headlines and headlines, can't get enough. Learning about the world, yeah, it's my stuff. Headlines and headlines, stories unfold. Knowledge is power, truth to behold. Politics, science, sports, and art. Every story plays its part. Global voices, voices near. Every headline loud and clear. Need the latest, got to know. Never stopping, always go. Scrolling, swiping, reading on. Daylight breaks in the dawn. Headlines and headlines, can't get enough. Learning about the world, yeah, it's my stuff. Headlines and headlines, stories unfold. Knowledge is power, truth to behold. Need the latest, got to know. Never stopping, always go. Scrolling, swiping, reading on. Daylight breaks in the dawn. Headlines and headlines, can't get